Hello viewers, welcome to the eSeniors GT3 Championship with the Group 1 races taking place at Silverstone. It's fair to say Silverstone's giving its first few adventures this week. Not necessarily through incidents, but drivers just failing to keep the car on track. And that's seen the the positions change in the race quite significantly. You know, and I think the tyre wear, the pit stop, is causing no end of problems. What we seem to see is the first stint, cars are going off all over the place. The second stint, everyone seems to be a little bit better about it. So consequently, I think we're in for a very exciting race. But incidents in relation to crashes, I don't think we'll see with Group 1, if I'm being honest. We might get one or two drivers going off, but I expect this to be a relatively straightforward race. I think we'll see the front runners doing their usual business. We'll see battles throughout the field, but it will be the usual suspects. As is always the case, I have Jeremy with me today.
Hello everyone.
And what we'll do is we'll go across to qualifying. We've got our sponsors, PWS, who are sponsoring the broadcast with the software, and obviously allowing us to carry on providing this service. Without them, it gets very, very difficult for us to maintain this level of publicity, if you like, and do the commentary. So really want to thank Darren and the relevant guys from PWS for doing that. And throughout you'll hear me say, you know, I mentioned PWS on the track guide before, on the track holder before. You've seen their website. For people in the UK, he has said he will give discounts. Pop along to his website. I will show that again, sorry, very, very briefly. pressurewashers.co.uk. He's got quite a few things on there that are interesting, and in this day and age where people are looking to wash the cars, wash the patios, he's got some really good equipment. So pop over there. You know, if you've got an interest, you've got a business that requires that equipment, he'll offer you a discount, and if you're part of eSeniors, you know, it's even better for everybody. So what I'll do now is I'll briefly show you the table so you can see what we're up to. So Pete Wolfslaner is leading by a good 30 odd points here. I would expect Peter to be quite a contender on this track again, and he's followed by Carlo. So obviously Carlo hopefully is going to carry on racing at the weekends, and I can see he's on the server. Unfortunately, due to work commitments, he can't race midweek anymore, so we are going to miss Carlo throughout the week. I just want to put it out there now, Carlo, you're going to be missed, mate. You've been an absolute star, and the race this week where you let Chris Bourne claim the win, such a gentlemanly thing to do that, so top man for that. We've got Andrea in third place and Chris Bourne in fourth place. So I think the top four, bearing in mind we've all got to throw 4 races at the end of the season, this table could change. So if you've had racers who haven't raced, for argument's sake, and you've had racers who have raced, the racers who haven't raced are going to throw away 0 points. The racers who have raced are going to throw away points. That could have a massive impact on the table. And especially now we're into round 10, there's only 6 rounds left. It's going to be a massive impact somewhere. Moving further down the grid, we've got David Gerard, who's one of the guys who's been racing with us this season for the first time. Been an outstanding performer. Lars Eklund, who's been with us for a while as well, very close there. And John Saunders, who's another one of the new guys. Then we've got Derek Bird and Reese Wiggin. And then Neil, David and Nelson, who's another new guy with us. So I think we're expecting quite an interesting race, shall we say, for this. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to try and work out where I'm on board at the moment with Peter. Peter's best lap's a 158.2. Andrea's currently got pole with a 158.1. I'm going to wait for somebody to go through and do a full lap, and then I'll do a lap guide with them. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to pick the right person, so I'm going to be on board with Mark Stevens. So Mark Stevens is coming down the start-finish straight as it stands. He's going to turn right into Cops. He'll put the car to the right hand side here, and he'll get the car to cut the corner on the left and cut the corner onto right into Maggots. He'll ease off, drop it down a gear, drop it down a further gear, keep it left and take him into right of Beckett's. This will then take him into the Chapel Curve, the left-hander, and then he'll go down the Hanger Straight. So during the race, if they're defending, they'll stay on the right. If they're racing, they'll stay on the left. And then what they'll do is, as they come to the bend, they'll brake hard and they'll turn right into Stowe. So they'll start wide, cut the corner and drift left. Get the power down, and then eventually move to the right-hand side of the track as they come into the little chicane. And this is Vale. Brake hard, left-hander, usually into first gear. Get the car turned in, and then it takes into Club. Put down onto the Hamilton straight, get as much power. Sometimes you can pass on here. If you've got a cracking run out of that corner, you'll get a pass on here. So you just tap the gears down, cut across, depending how you drive, and get the car around this corner. And this takes into Abbey and Farm Curve. And then this right-hander is Village. Close to the curb as possible. Get your foot down. And then we're going left into the loop again. Close to the curb as possible. Get your foot down. And then cut this on the left-hand side. And this is Aintree. You'll see him cut it quite a lot. Foot down, flat out, all the way down onto the Wellington straight. We'll come into the complex on the right-hand side, which is Brooklands. He'll drift right, and then he'll brake hard, and then start tearing into the left, easing down through the gears. Get the car rotating round, and then this will take him to the right-hander of Luffield. You'll start getting the power down, full power, and then you'll see a right-hander coming up just after the pits on the right, and this is Woodcote, and this takes him onto the start-finish straight. And that lap with Mark Stevens was a 2 minutes flat. So great lap by that, Mark. Thank you very much for being on board with us.
Yeah, and in the meantime, Peter has a 157.5, closely followed by Andrea Caiola and Lars.
Yeah,
is third right now.
Yeah, I'm going to jump on board with the Lars. Lars is currently in the 158s, but he's 3/10 up. He's looking for the 157s here to join the party. I think it's fair to say. That 157.5, that's a frightening time. So he was 4/10 up. He's lost a bit. In fact, he's lost a lot of time through there coming through club. But just go to the chat. Hi guys, welcome to the chat. We've got Jonathan.
Hello everyone.
Got Stefan. What's up? If that was ever a thing in the US. Terry. Stefan. Sorry, Steve. Terry Howard. We've got Frank. Hi Frank. We've got Paul Moore. Tell you what, Paul. Brilliant race yesterday, mate. That's got to be up there with the best race you've ever had and the best race I've ever seen. I think if I'd have caught you, I don't think I'd have passed you anyway. Not that I would have caught you because I was dawdling at the back, shall we say. So you did well there, mate. In fact, I want to give a shout out to the grumpy old man himself, who's not on the stream, which is Melvin. Melvin had a fantastic race as well. So the pair of you, kudos to you there for that. Hi, Nikos. Who else have we got? We've got Jaime. Hi, Jaime.
Hello, gentlemen.
Right, guys, in the chat, can you please not disclose what's going on in the F1, please? I don't want anyone saying anything in the F1. If you do, I will terminate the stream. Simple as that. We're recording it so I can watch it later, but I don't want to see what's going on. If I have the option to delete your chat, I will delete your chat and I will remove you from the chat. So you've got an option there, okay? Keep it eSeniors, please. Anyone who starts F1 in, they will be kicked. You've got a choice, guys. There's a lot of us who are going to watch it later on. We don't want it spoiling now. Right, you've all respected that, so we'll go with it. So we've got 11 minutes to qualify in. Lars is doing another lap. He's 4/10 up. He's got this lap much better balance now. He's still going for the 157s. Carlo has also put in a 157.9. So we've got, I'm going to say the usual suspects. I am missing Chris Bourne at the moment. He's down in 11th.
Yeah, but we know he will come back.
Yeah, we've got Chris Bourne. We've got, who else normally does well? John Saunders. And I'm just looking, Derek and David. And
yes.
we don't have David Gerrard. Is David Gerrard not racing this week?
I guess he's not.
Okay, so
yeah, you're right. He's not there.
So David Gerrard's going to lose some places. John Saunders, who has just gone into 4th place with a 158.2. Lars is 1/10 down. I have put the gap on the screen so you can see the... Sorry, I need to put the fastest lap on, don't I? My apologies. Let me put the fastest lap on.
Yeah,
there you go.
See here, there was some kind of incident between Reese and Mercher. Something happened between the two of them.
Yeah, there was an incident between car 69 and car 667 earlier on. 667's Reese and car 69 was Merch. Yeah, there was an incident on in qualifying.
Truly, I don't understand. I don't understand how there can be incidents during quali, but I guess we do have them. You know, the idea is to spread out on the field and watch your radar and know when to get out on the track. I mean, there's only 20 cars, plenty of room on this circuit.
Yeah, you can't race. I mean, when I was qualifying yesterday, Someone was in front of me, but they chose the right time to pull over, which I thought was brilliant. I can't remember who that guy was in Group 2, but all I'll say is your timing was absolutely spot on. So, some of the guys are paying attention. We are getting that point through. We are getting that point through. And,
Okay, I'm very sorry to report bad language from Rhys Wiggin here. Right. Really not good. Really not good.
Okay, I presume that's in the chat, on the in-game chat. Obviously, I've not got the in-game chat, so I can't really.
No, but we didn't. We disallowed that kind of language anywhere, whether it's on the server, in Discord or Facebook. And here we have someone clearly not respecting that, and that's unfortunate.
So as you all guys know, we changed. We put a code of conduct in place this season to ensure that we try and keep everything clean, fair, and polite. And what we won't tolerate is people abusing that certainly in chat and then afterwards in Discord. And we will obviously take the relevant action if we feel need so. And if that action means taking someone out for a race, so be it. At the end of the day, we want to keep everything fair and everything balanced here. We're trying to. I did notice Mr. Wood, who I know is listening, did mention a swear word yesterday. I did catch it on the stream. But to be fair, both you and Juan did realise and wind yourself back in a little bit. Now, as I said, we on the stream, I do select no children, no kids allowed on the stream. But you've got to realise that, we're all in our 50s. There's a probability we've got grandchildren. And I know some of you babysit for your grandchildren and will sit and watch the race. And if you're sitting watching the race and someone starts swearing, it's very, very difficult to cover that from your grandchildren. And ultimately that's what we've got to think about. So just a couple more of... Point. Sorry, Jeremy, just a couple more hellos. Hi, Lee. And here's the grumpy old man himself. Hi, honey, I'm home, Melvin. Welcome, Melvin.
Hello.
And we got Kai. Hi, Kai. Yeah, Andy, absolutely spot on. Hi, Mia, fully agree. There's no need for foul language. We're all supposed to be gents. If we can't sort it out amicably at this age, with the life experience we've got, there's no hope for us, is there really? We're all of the same disposition, okay? Some of us penalise more than others because of our age. But ultimately, we've got the same interests, we've got the same hobby. And once the race is over, we should all just be friends. You get frustrated during the race, I get that. But, you've got life decisions to make, haven't you? What's more important? Going off a track and crashing your car or someone getting ill as a result of COVID? I think that puts it into perspective, doesn't it? We do take this seriously. I know people say it's just a game. We do take it seriously. We put a lot of time, effort into it, and you might get a race ruined. But at the end of the day, it's not costing you millions. You're not smashing a car up and you're not ending up in hospital. And it is meant to be a degree of fun with a bit, with a bit of ambition between ourselves. So let's try and just remember that when we're about to lose our rags. I had an incident with Rainer Berger last night in the race, and I knew it was my fault. I held my hand up. It was lap 1. I've got a 10-place penalty incoming. Straight afterwards, I didn't put anything in the stream, didn't put anything on Discord. Straight afterwards, I went to his personal Discord and a private messaged him with a bigger apology and explained what it is. And I said, I know there's a penalty incoming. Shortly after that, he said, I fully accept your apology. And he obviously does want the penalty imply, and I fully get that. But that's how to do it. Don't sit there and start sending negative messages. It achieves absolutely nothing, and at the end of the day, we still want to carry on doing this and not end up losing people or people quitting because the wrong thing's been said.
That's right. So right now, we have 6 guys. You know what? Actually, the top 8, very close, very close. It's going to be very intense during the race. I don't think today we can expect Carlo to slow down and let anyone by. That won't happen, that's for sure.
No.
So, but very close between Peter and Andrea right now, and Carlo as well. It's going to be, and this race is an hour race, right? So with pit stops. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
We've got another one on the stream. We've got Mark Christopher. Hi from Lanzarote. God, you must be bored. I'll be sat there around the pool. I know it's going to be cool now, but I'll be sat in the bar with a couple of nice ice cold ones getting ready for bed. Or fair dues to you. I hope you've got it on every screen now. You've told everyone to to subscribe and like. Anyway, yeah, I'm sure you'd have been happy with the results last night. But just remember, Mark, 4 races have got to be scrapped. So from my perspective, that's probably one of them that's going to be on that tick list. And therefore, you know, that race to me is a write-off. It's Imola where I'm looking to gain. So as you're not here, I'm going for the 50 points at Imola. So Terry Howard in the stream. I'm sure Terry Trowbridge in the stream, and I'm sure Jeremy as well, and Lee Ellis are all thinking, right, what's he got planned for Imola? Well, yeah, I've been working on that this week actually. So instead of me practicing at Silverstone, I've been practicing at Imola just to put myself ready for it.
Yeah, well, Imola, we'll have a good idea tomorrow with the warm-up race. What's happening?
Yep.
Will you be there, Mark?
I'm hoping to. Terry's saying no way, Mark. So, what's the no way to? Sorry, Terry.
Yeah, very nice race, Terry, yesterday. Very nice.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations, Terry. Faultless. Absolutely faultless. When you come out of the pits, I just couldn't keep up with you. You had your car set up perfectly there, which I obviously didn't have a chance to do any setup, so mine was pretty rough. Although I will say, I give me setup to Melvin and he made it work. I couldn't, but he did.
So Chris Bourne right now, but yeah, with only less than 3 minutes into the quali, only managed the P8. That's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on board with David Noble, and David Noble's in the same vein as is Derek Bird. I just don't understand this. Well, Laszlo, he's gaining a little bit. I mean, to be fair, Laszlo here, if he can keep this lap up, he's going to go up a couple of places. He's losing time now. Paul Moore. Oh my God, so my Melvin issue was a partial mark issue. Well, Paul, I think Melvin struggled with practicing, so he said, has anyone got a setup? And I sent him mine. Now, he does tweak mine. He just changes a couple of things. But to be fair, unless he's changed it significantly, it probably was my setup he was using. And it wasn't a slow setup. I just couldn't bloody drive it. But he mastered it. And you know what? Finishing where he finished and qualifying where he qualified. Absolutely brilliant, Melvin. And you too, Paul, to be fair.
So Keola now really closed the gap with Peter. Really closed the gap.
Yeah, it's 1/10. It's less than a tenth, isn't it?
That's right.
Peter's just out on another lap, so Laszlo never made any gains there. In fact, I'm going to go on board with Chris Baker, because Chris Baker's 3/10 up here. In fact, he's half a second up. That's a hell of a gain. He's 3/10. He's lost a little bit. He's got the flat out section now. You know what? I used to struggle in this corner coming into Luffield, and then I finally managed to suss how to do it and keep the pace. It's just the other corners I struggle with. Yeah, he's lost all his time. He's lost 3/10 there. So I'm going to jump back to Mark Stevens. Mark Stevens has made good time. He's 3/10 up. He's definitely going to move up the leaderboard, but by how much? He's currently 18th, and he's gone into 14th. He's gained 4 places there on that lap alone, and we've got 21 seconds left to go.
That's it.
So Merch, who's towards the back, has been struggling actually. Merch normally does well. He's currently 19th. So last but one. And that's his lap over. So we're going to see a charge from Merch. Craig Holmes here, just into his lap, 1/10 up at 158.2. If he gets 1/10, in fact, the two guys in front of him, John Saunders and Lars Eklund, have both done a 158.212. So, interested to see if Craig can gain another 10th here. In fact, he's going to jump them both at the moment and put himself in 5th place, which for the Bloatley is a great appeal. And you can see Chris Baker behind him. So he's still only 1/10 up, but he is a 10th up. Yeah, Melvin.
Very close field.
I've been out on a free bar all day, so to be fair, I wasn't as bad as I could have been. Simple reason being, I had to be up and out for a game at 9 o'clock this morning, so I had to behave. And I don't think when the wife picked me up, because it was chucking it down, she was surprised on how sober I was actually. So I know I said I'd been out all day, but to be fair, I could have been a lot worse, and I wasn't. So he's alternating between 2/10 and 1/10 here. So he's definitely going to gain time. Now the question is he going to get 4th? Nelson's done a 4th. Brilliant.
Very nice.
Terry's just said the playing safety dance on telly, Jeremy. I'm sure there's a link there. Okay, that's qualifying over. Okay, guys, it's a grid walk. So, in pole position, we have Pete Wolfslener, followed closely by Andrea Ciola. There's less than 1/10 between these two guys. Further down the grid, we've then got the Bentley of Carlo Van Brabant and the Aston Martin and the Martini Aston Martin of Nelson Ambrahosa. Fantastic qualification, that Nelson. John Saunders in the blue Ferrari, and then we've got Lars in the typical gold McLaren. We've then got Craig Holmes in the green, yellow and black Bentley, and we've got Chris Bourne in the purple liveried Lexus. Behind that, we've got Reese Wiggin in the dark coloured Bentley, and we've got the first of the PWS cars of Mark Rogers. Behind that, we have Mikael Holberg in the Nokia-themed orange Aston, and we have Chris Baker in the Sega liveried Aston Martin. Behind that, we have David Noble in the green Aston, and we have Derek Bird in the gold and black Porsche. Behind that, we have Mark Stevens in the orange Ferrari, and we have Tony Whitten in the red Ferrari. Further down behind that, we have Hugh Morris in the light blue Ferrari, and then we have Laszlo Nemeth in the blue and black coloured Lexus. Then we have Merch in the Marlboro liveried Aston Martin. And the final on the grid, we have Dimitri Stathis in the red and blue liveried car. The Ferrari. And then obviously Jeremy will leave the race as the race commences. So we've got 20 seconds to go. Royalties. Melvin's just putting royalties inbound for Jay. Oh, it's on Strictly Come Dancing. Oh, it's on Strictly Come Dancing. My wife watches that. She'll be telling me Jeremy's song's been on.
Yeah, this safety dance was on TV.
Brilliant. Hi, Andreas. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Here we go. Start moving. Get them engines running. Get them lights on for those who put the lights on. I think Chris Bourne always puts lights on. And Nelson's very slow on the uptake there. So get yourselves in position, guys. This is one of the things that causes all the incidents, is people being out of position. And you've done it all. So, yeah, everyone's, look at that, all bunched up really, really well. That's looking like a nice grid. Any second now, the lights will go green. And off we go. And Peter's on the inside and Andrea's on the outside. Peter got a really good start there. And you can see behind as well. Oh, there's going to be contact quite early on there. Ooh. John Saunders was bullying his way through there quite early on. Oh, that's very close. The Lars and Nelson very close, and Chris has made a fantastic start up the inside. Fantastic start. Let's go to the back. There has been an incident between Mark Stevens and Tony Whitten. Ironically, the Team Babalas guys, both on the same team. I think that was more of a love tap, though, rather than an incident. And we can say Merch has managed to take a place at the back from Laszlo. So Merch is back on the run again there. So back to the front. And we can see, you can see Peter's made straight away. Good strides. He's made a good getaway. The guy on the move, though, is Chris Bourne. Chris Bourne's made a fantastic start off the grid. And the first few corners, he managed to pass a car. All braking late into that corner. Are we going to get through that corner fine? Looking like it. Yeah, everyone's made it through. No contact yet. Wow. What a start. Nice. What a start. So this is Carlo and John Saunders, I think, behind. So the other is already a gap in front. And as you can see, Andre is putting pressure on Peter. So we'll just jump. We'll move the car forward a little bit. Tyres are still going to take a while to come up to speed. I think it's a full lap at Silverstone before the tyres come up. And I think it's a case of once you've done that full lap, you can start pushing. Anyone pushing earlier than that and expecting to brake well into a corner, they are asking for trouble. Because, as I said, it's a good lap for the tyres to come up to speed and up to pace at Silverstone. The Nelson's cutting the corner as well there. He's really trying to put pressure on Lars. He's lost a couple of places, Nelson. So what I'll do is I'll put the gap on the timing screen for you guys.
It's really amazing to see how close 14 cars are to each other. I mean, not even a second between those 14 cars.
Yeah, there's a lot. Merch has made great progress, actually. Look, Merch has just got up the inside of Stevens. He's already took Whitten. So Merch is a man on a mission, I think it's fair to say. After his, what he will probably admit is poor qualifying. Chris Bourne with the fastest lap of a 2:07. Tony Whitten, it's got Tony Whitten going slow, and there's been contact between Hugh Morris and Tony Whitten, and contact again as we've just seen there. So I think that was, yeah, Tony's waiting for Hugh. I think it's fair to say Tony did hit you there, very similar to the incident at Hyde with Rainey yesterday, to be fair, but in the different complex on the track. So let's just jump back forward because Carlo's got putting pressure on Andrea now.
Yeah, absolutely. But right now, no one truly is escaping anyone. I mean, still very close. Mind you, it's not even 2 laps, but
I mean, there is
everyone.
There is a few gaps appearing. Nelson's a second ahead of Reese. Reese is a second ahead of Craig. Mikhail has just took Mark Rogers. Mark Rogers went very deep there. And as you can see now, he's trying to recover. So the PWS car that's on track has lost a number of places there as a result of going wide and deep into the corner. And that's allowed both Chris Baker and David Noble and Mikhail to pass. So everyone's managed to move up a little bit. Lars is putting pressure on Chris. And you can see the guys in front. So at the moment, Nelson and Lars and Chris seem to be the close battle. And Reese is sat there waiting to see if there's any pickings and loose pickings from this to gain a place. Let's jump on board with Nelson. You can see Nelson's got a really good run there. I mean, this isn't a passing place. I don't expect Nelson to go for a pass here. What you're looking for is someone to make a mistake here. And Lars made that corner brilliantly. You can see the speed he gained. And this section's really tricky. Cut the corners on both sides, then ease off. Sometimes drop it down a gear and get the car settled into this corner. You can't, and getting the drive out of this corner is really key. You can get a really good drive and get a good run on the straight. But as you can see here, they're all driving absolutely perfect. So that means getting a run on the straight is really difficult. I will say, Lars has had a fantastic run there. He's pulled away from Nelson. Hugh Morris has gone off at the back. There was a yellow flag with Hugh Morris. I don't know whether the contact from Tony has upset Hugh's car a little bit, because obviously Tony's now past Hugh as a result of that. Although Tony did wait. I noticed Andy said Tony wasn't racing. So I think the situation with Tony, Andy, is they have power switch offs in Africa, and he's got to wait for the power to come back on. And it's not, I mean, even if they say it's coming back on at 7 PM, it's not clockwork. So consequently, sometimes he says I can't race, and then he might jump on for the last 5 minutes of qualifying or something if everything goes well. I believe he's got UPSs and stuff in his house just to compensate for the power drains that may happen. Oh, a lot of close contact there. No contact per se, but wow, that was close between Chris, Lars and Nelson. And Nelson's really now on the rear of... let's just jump back to Nelson. Nelson's really on the rear of Lars. He's gained a lot of time. He's not going to go for the break up the inside. Not in this corner. Coming through Luffield now. He needs a really good drive out of Luffield to get the power down. But I think Lars is going to get the run from Chris, which means it's going to make it difficult. And Peter's just done a 1:57.8 in race trim. That's 7/10 quicker than Andrea, and he's now 2 seconds clear of Andrea. So that goes to show that the qualifying over 1:57.5, his race car will equally do the same with full tank of fuel. For those who are racing in Group 2 and Group 3, that's just like ridiculous. Oh, Lars is off. Lars has gone off. Lars has gone. Oh, I can't keep up with Lars actually. Oh, did he hit the barrier though? If he hit the barrier, he could be in trouble.
I don't think he did, but I don't know why he left the track there.
No, his back end went. He lost traction on the back end. So you can come through that corner, and if you keep your foot planted, the power will carry on driving you, even though you're trying to turn in the corner, and it'll just carry on spinning you around. And it looks like exactly what happened there in relation to Lars. I know because it happened to me. I know exactly the reason why. So, yeah. So he's carried on into the corner but kept it planted, whereas what he probably should have done was eased off a little bit. And as he's turned, the wheels have started to spin at the back, which means the car just slides. So that's really put Lars down, but it does mean the big gainer in that one was Chris and Nelson. So, well, actually, certainly Nelson, because Nelson's now putting pressure on Chris. And Nelson's having another fantastic run. These guys are such clean racers when you watch them, though. Every lap is inch perfect. You know, they take the corner, it's perfect every time. The braking point is the same every time. And it's, you know, I think that sets these guys apart from the Group 2 and the Group 3 guys. You know, I always try to brake in the same place and take the same corner. I'll tell you now, I don't. And yet, when you watch these guys, everything's identical lap after lap. And that's why they're so good. So the other guy on a move at the moment, I'm just going to jump back, is Craig is putting pressure on Reese. So Craig Holmes is putting pressure on Reese. He's got into a good position here, and he will be looking for the move. The downside for Craig is Reese is also in a Bentley. And you can see Craig's gone very wide. Lars has gone even wider. Lars is looking for another track there. And they're both in the Bentley, so they're evenly matched, I think it's fair to say. But Nelson is not giving up at all, as you can see on Chris. He's really putting Chris under pressure. He's having a great race here. Peter up front is now 2.5 seconds clear of Andrea. Andrea's 1.5 seconds clear of Carlo. And Carlo's 1.5 seconds clear of John Saunders. And John Saunders is 1.5 seconds clear of this battle.
Yeah, that's it. After that, from the P6, we have 4 cars really fighting each other. Very intense.
I like what Andrea's son's put in the chat. Dad ate too much today. He isn't light enough to pass Peter. I like that. If you're new to the stream or you're just watching, don't forget, click that like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. That's the only way to get eSeniors out there. Thanks very much.
Carlos seems to be pressuring Andrea right now.
Yeah, that gap's down to. We'll jump to that one. So what we'll do is we'll go to Carlo and we'll change to the this view. Stefan, definitely a food man there. Good food trumps good racing. Why can't you have both? Why can't you have both, Stefan? Eat and drive. Eat and drive. Yeah, Carlo's got it together now, and he started putting pressure on the Aston. I do think the Aston and the Bentley are the 2 best cars around this track. They just seem to run really well. And John Saunders is doing great in the Ferrari, but you can see he's struggling keeping up. And the Aston's putting pressure on Chris Bourne in the Lexus as well. And I think I said yesterday the Lexus is a good all-rounder. Oh, very deep of Andrea there on the corner. Really come across it. Now, Nelson's looking very, very racy towards Chris, but I don't think he's going to make the pass. Let's just jump back to that. Well, yeah, and Harry's saying Chris normally has both. Well, he does, to be fair, yeah. He's probably got his wheel, he's got a plate on his lap, and what he's doing is he's driving with his right hand and feeding himself with his left hand. And Stefan's saying simulated food doesn't taste too good. Well, I have to admit, I've never tasted simulated food. I think pit stops is going to make a massive impact in this race. The way everyone's driving. So Craig Holmes is still putting pressure. So we've got two mini battles going on with the Nelson and Chris and Craig and Reese. So these are the two big battles at the moment. Carlo's a second down off Andrea, so we'll keep an eye on that. Hi Nathali, Dayan.
Hello there.
Andy Goddard, yeah. I think it's fair to say, Andy, if we haven't already dieted, there's no point now, because what we've got ain't coming off. Hugh Morris has gone off. Yellow flags. He's in the sandpit. Oh, he's way off track. So Hugh Morris is really struggling. This is the battle at the moment. These two are so close. Well, is beer a food group? Well, it's certainly it's a cereal, isn't it? Does it class as a cereal beer? Barley, you know. Is that a cereal? Am I right? Wrong? Can I have it for your breakfast?
I think it is a cereal.
Melvin, I've had a vegan sausage then. I'm sorry, I'm one of these, and if there's anyone in the stream who is vegan, I apologise up front. From my perspective, it's ridiculous calling something like vegan bacon, vegan sausage when they're not meat. You know, our woke community these days, what have they led us down a path of? So no, I've definitely not had a vegan sausage roll. Yeah, Nathali saying grain. I totally agree. Hi Dal King, welcome to the stream. I've not seen your name before, so you're a new guy. Don't forget to click that like and subscribe button. I tell you what, Chris is under a lot of pressure here, isn't he? And Reese has tried it as well. He
is. And Reese is joining now.
Dalking's just said, I'm vegan. My apologies. I did apologise beforehand. Stefan Tofu with a vomiting face. I've never tried tofu, so I can't comment. But as someone who doesn't like anything that appears to be green, yeah, I can imagine how I'd go down in a vegan restaurant.
There's an incredible 4-car battle there going on. Chris Bourne, Nelson, Reese.
It is.
Craig Holmes.
Yeah.
And even Lars now.
Yeah, they are.
Lars left the track again.
No, Craig's left the track. Lars has just passed Craig.
Oh, I see.
So Craig had a bit of a mistake, and Lars has managed to pass him. Yeah, Neil's just saying safety dance is on is on the telly. So no doubt it's the same thing. It'll be on the Strictly Come Dancing. So my wife will no doubt tell us. Guess what was on Strictly Come Dancing?
Yeah.
So Dol King, do you have an alternative name that we can call you by? I think Lee Ellis saying he subscribes to your YouTube channel. So does that mean that you are already a YouTuber? Are you into online racing? And more importantly, are you over 50? Andy Goddard. I like that, Jeremy. You read what Andy Goddard's put. I like that.
Yeah, I see. I'm reading. I'm reading.
So for the few who don't know, Nathali and Dalkin, and possibly Caio Alessandro, what you probably don't know is Jeremy Arabas, who's our founder member, in the 80s had a hit, and that hit was with a song.
Hats.
Yeah, it was Men Without Hats with the safety dance song, and that's what's currently being played on Strictly Come Dancing. So hence why there's a load of comments about it. So if you're our age, you will know the tune. I think it's fair to say.
That's right. Yeah, I'm just gonna add that it was top 10. It did the top 10 in 20 countries around the world.
It was indeed. Great tune, great tune. You will remember it. So Dalkin, you're according to this, you're a fast sim racer, as Kai says. So we might be in touch with you for shall we say, a discussion of some sort. Oh, Dalkin races with Jardier. Wow,
really?
He's an alien.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
That sounds interesting. So Lars has passed Reese. Well, maybe not yet, but he's definitely got the run.
Yeah, this battle is pretty intense there.
Lars has got it back, hasn't he, now, as a result of his off before. He's made good time. But Nelson, I mean, Craig is still putting pressure on Reese there. He's showing his nose, but he's not going for it. Oh, Dalkin's saying he's faster than Jardier. Come on, guys. I could ask Dalkin, how did you find us? How have you been made aware of our streams? Because you're very, very welcome. I must say, very, very welcome. It's really nice to see a fellow sim racer, obviously not our age, viewing our stream.
Definitely.
And that's what we're all about. I look forward to Nelson, because Nelson's still putting pressure on Chris Bone.
Yeah, and by the way, you are welcome to race tomorrow. We have warm-up races, and they're open to any racers out there. So if you want to join in, you're welcome.
Yeah, as a guest racer, your age isn't an issue there. So you can race with some of these guys on track who are putting the laps out here. Yes, you probably win. Just don't get. I know you're listening, Nikos. Just don't get Nikos behind you.
Ooh, very close battle there between Nelson.
Yeah,
Chris Bourne.
I'm actually on board with Nelson at the moment, and the perm are flinging the cars around the track. Craig's off. Craig's lost loads of places. So, yeah, Craig has lost loads of places. In fact, he's gone off in the same place.
It looks like he's
as Lars. Fun. Yeah, he's gone off the same place as Lars by the looks of it. Through Beckett's. Yeah, but he did it in a different way. He's lost loads of places. He's right down towards the bottom of the grid now. That's put him into 17th place. What an absolute pain that is.
So in the meantime, Peter is widening the gap. He's now close to 5 seconds away from Andrea. But Carlo is staying with Andrea.
He is.
I mean,
Carlo's putting pressure on Andrea.
Yeah, they are racing each other since the beginning.
Let's just have a look at the splits. So you can see there. I will see if I can make that window a little bit bigger, actually. Just hold on a minute. Let's see if we can get that window a little bit bigger so you can all see it clearly. There you go. You can see the splits. Peter's doing sector 1 and sector 2. And I can't work out who's got the fastest sector 3. I can't see a sector 3. Oh, Craig Holmes was the fastest sector 3 further down. So Pete's definitely dominating with his fastest time. But actually, he could go a little bit quicker if you look at what is Craig's sector 3 time. I think we'll see that from Peter at some point, if I'm being brutally honest. Derek is now putting pressure on Mark Rogers. I think we might see Derek starting to come into this race a little bit just as the pits are starting to happen. So I've not got anyone in the pits at the moment. Oh, thank you very much, Dalkin. So we popped up on it on his feed, and he thought he would give us a try. Oh, really appreciate that.
Very nice.
Thanks for joining, and thanks for the comments. We're not professionals, by the way. We're just a group of old guys who do it for fun. Derek's just lost a bit of time, so I'm just going to do a quick rundown of the grid. So Peter is currently in first place. He's 5.3 seconds ahead of Andrea. Andrea is, as you can see behind him, is 1 second ahead of Carlo. Andrea in the Aston, Carlo there in the Bentley. Carlo, oh, Chris Bourne's off.
Is he?
Chris Bourne is off.
Oh, yes.
There was contact. Let's have a quick look at the replay. There was contact there between him and Nelson. I don't know whether Nelson's hit him from behind. I can't say that without watching the replay. I'm just waiting for the replay to come back. There you go.
That's the only solution there, unless Chris lost the car himself.
Well, initially it showed Chris as going yellow, which indicated it was his mistake. But I'm not too sure. He's got a cracking run there as Nelson, to be fair. A cracking run. Oh, he's ran into him. He's nudged him out of the corner. Yeah, I think that's definitely what you class as a bump past that one. And Chris has lost a lot of time there.
Well,
in fact, Chris is back down into 12th position now. Such a shame.
Nelson should have waited.
Okay, so Chris has got it all to do now, and that's took the battle away. So the battle now is Derek and Chris. So I was running down the grid. I got to John Saunders. So John Saunders was 2.36 seconds off Carlo, followed by Nelson. I think it's fair to say Nelson's going to have a penalty incoming as a result of that. Definitely. If obviously Chris lodges it, because that was typically a bump past that, and that will reside in at least a 2-place penalty. Then behind that we've got Lars, who's less than a second behind. Lars has started to look racy again since he went off track, and he's now putting a lot of pressure on Nelson. And then behind that we've got Reese Wiggin in the Black Bentley, who's he's lost a couple of places, but he's still there and still there roundabout. Mikael Hogberg, this is the first race second race he's ran with us. He's doing a fantastic job in 8th place, and he's being closely pressured by David Noble. David Noble, as you can see there in the green Aston, he's a couple of 4 seconds ahead of Chris Baker. The Chris Baker in the Sega liveried Aston is 1.5 seconds ahead of the PWS Aston Martin of Mark Rogers. And Mark Rogers is now getting pressure put on by Chris Bourne. That means Chris Bourne has now started to pull away from Derek Bird when Derek was looking like he was going to catch him. Further behind that, we've got Derek Bird in the Porsche. And then 5.5 seconds behind that, we've got Merch in the Marlboro liveried Aston Martin. I'm just watching David Noble's putting pressure on Mikhail. In fact, I'm going to go to that. David Noble's going for it up the inside.
Yeah.
He's gone for it up the inside. So Mikhail's just had a new PC built. My God, it would run NASA. He must be running this game at like 300 frames per second. Money must be no object for that guy, because his machine specs are unbelievable. And as I say, he was waiting for the parts to turn up. They turned up this week, and he's now built it. He's thinking of switching to Windows 11, but it's not set up for secure boot. So he was talking to me about getting that set up earlier. So I think he's going to be fully Windows 11 by the end of this week.
Okay, we have the first pit stop.
We have indeed. We've got Chris and Derek in the pits.
Chris and Derek, yes.
So Mark Stevens is behind Merch, where we left us. He's 2.5 seconds behind Merch, as you can see in the distance there. Laszlo Nemeth is 5 seconds behind, just going very wide out the first corner. Craig Holmes is behind as a result of his massive going off. And
Derek missed his stop point in the pit stop. Now the question is, will Nelson be penalized because there was contact between the two cars? Is there damage? And and I see Laszlo got a drive-through.
Laszlo's been going wide, so he's got a drive-through as a result of going wide and hitting track limits.
I see.
I see. You know, I said Silverstone is very forgiving. Well, I found one of the track limits yesterday, so I know they're there. I got a warning for it. I couldn't believe it. So now the interesting thing there is if Derek has had to reverse up his pits, He'll get a penalty.
Yes, he did.
He'll get a penalty for that, for reversing in the pits. Now let's see.
Ooh.
I'm not seeing anything
Yeah.
come up.
He overshot his stop, but yeah, I don't think he got a penalty.
There's no penalty, so let's put the pits on. You can see Bourne and Bird have successfully carried out their pit stops now, so they're going to the end. They've gone very early.
Fine. They're fine.
Yeah. Craig Holmes is still putting pressure on Laszlo here, but obviously it's academic this, because Laszlo's going to have to go into the pits and do a drive-through. And the problem Laszlo's got now, it's a double sting, because not only is he going to have to do a drive-through, he's going to have to then go back in and do his pit stop as well, or vice versa. But he's going to do his drive-through in 3 laps. So he's in a bit of a problem there.
Yeah, that's going to hurt.
So let's see where this takes us. Just briefly back to the chat. Yeah, Stefan, fair comment. Who we're calling old, it's nicely aged. Like a fine wine, sir. A fine wine. Yeah, and Paul Moore saying, calling it seasoned. Although it's that cold here, my joints are seasoning up after refereeing 2 games this morning, so I'm definitely starting to feel old. And I'm one of the younger guys in the group. Yeah, Lee Ellis is saying he thinks Chris was robbed. I think it's fair to say.
Yes.
I think Chris has lost a lot of place as a result of a tap. And I think there's going to be an incoming penalty there. The thing is...
Now, you know... Yeah,
I was just going to say, because Nelson didn't slow down and give the place back, the dilemma is, Nelson is going to lose potentially just 2 places as a result of a bump pass, whereas Chris has lost a lot more. But don't forget, guys, we can put in causing a collision penalty if we think the bump pass is too unworld, because that was causing a collision. He's gone into the back of him, which means Nelson will lose 4 places. So just need to look at that from a steward's perspective to see what's going on.
I was going to say, what's going to be very interesting to follow is Andrea and Carlos' pit stops. They are so close. It's going to be really interesting to see. Are they going to pit at the same time, or is someone going to try to put a fast lap while the other one is pitting?
Well,
very interesting.
Peter's typically gone late. Watching the way Peter's raced, and I think Andrea tries to go with the same time as Peter, but you've got to really think about how you've fueled your car. Have you got enough to go late? So the race yesterday, I fueled it to go to the end of the pit window, and I think I went in with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah.
So Reese has now pitted. So Reese is now jumping into the pits there. So at the moment, Carlo's still putting pressure on Andreas, but Peter's out into the distance here, nearly 6 seconds. Terry, yeah, you won't notice the replay. Sometimes it disappears, sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't, I've just got to click it. Yeah, you are right, Andy. It is an overlay I've got. And when I press the button, sometimes it does things, sometimes it doesn't. Even though I've set the timing and stuff, it does misbehave. And the gremlin's sitting there sometimes. Hugh Morris is off again. And he's planted it in the middle of the track. That's not really what you're planting. Oh, he's got... Oh, don't spin it again. Yeah, get yourself
he's having issues with his car.
Wasn't there another Ferrari the other day who looked like they had a puncture?
Yeah.
And every time they come back on track and accelerated, they just spun. I'm sure I saw a Ferrari in... was it the Group 3 race?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe you're right.
And I don't know if it was a puncher or not, but it was a trait of a puncher. And when they got on the straight, they were going really, really slow. So Chris Bourne is now starting to make headway as a result of cars starting to pit. But it's only really going to put him into his original position. He's going to be not very happy. So just to explain there, Chris Bourne will have got added time to his pit stop. But I believe the added time is peanuts. When I hit the back of Rayner, it was 0.309 of a second, so it was negligible.
That's all. Okay.
Yeah, so I think... So Peter's pitted. He's gone against what I'd said. He's pitted early. He's gone bang on 30 minutes.
Wow.
So that means Andrea is now leading, and John Saunders just took the lead. So Peter, unless he makes a mistake, and Hugh's off again.
But wait, Andrea, and Carlo is pitted as well.
He has indeed, yeah. Carlo's going to the pit. So I'm just going to jump into the car with if I can, because I think this car is looking... Oh, yeah, he's pitted. I was going to say, his car's looking a bit worse for wear there. And I think Hugh's gone to the pits now. Well, let me go back to the helicam view. There we go. Helicam view. So Craig is now back into 6th place.
So Peter is coming out of the pits.
Okay, so where's Peter? I mean, it's academic at the moment, isn't it? Because we need to see where Peter, and so's Carlo. Carlo's coming out of the pits. It's academic. We've got to see when Andrea stops, but we know Peter's just going to put a flying lap in, don't we? I think every second lap after a pit stop, I've seen Peter. He's gone an absolute put a blazing lap in. I mean, his quickest lap time, I mean, he's holding the lap record at the moment in race, is a 1:57.8. No one else has hit the 1:57s in race trim. And the next fastest driver is Carlo with a 1:58.4. So, you know, when you look at that, that's 6/10 difference in fastest lap. That's significant. Stevens has got off. I think he just cut the corner, actually. I did a flag. In fact, Derek Bird's passed him there.
Okay, and Andrea just came into the pits right now.
Okay, so, yeah, Andrea's pitted. Reese Wiggins is putting pressure on Lars here. So Reese has got into the pits and his car's coming out looking really racy. So is Reese going to manage to take Lars? John Saunders is now leading, but again, it's academic. The pit stops have all got to kick into place.
So the question is, will Carlo be able to pass Andrea in the pits?
Well, I'm going to keep an eye on Andrea because Andrea's sat in the pits now and Carlo's obviously going to be doing a couple of flying laps, he's hoping. I will say his last lap was an out lap and it was a 2:04. This lap he really needs... Well, it's really down to Andrea's out lap, isn't it? The last lap times were 2:04.
I think Carlo's going to pass him. Yeah,
I'm just looking on board. So Andrea's...
Oh, actually, he's coming out.
He's coming out. So Andrea's coming out. Carlo's only going to make the corner. He's going to be right on top of him when he gets his pace up. And there's been contact. There's been an incident. Just wait for this. There's been a bit of an incident in a key battle. Hold your breath, guys. Lars and Reese.
Oh.
And in fact, this battle's carried on and Lars is off track. So they carried on. So far, so good. So far, oh! He survived that one. But Lars didn't, unfortunately. So Reese has let him back. Okay. Back live again. And the overlay still isn't switching off, but there you go. But I can't see what's gone on there, but whatever's happened now, Reese is having trouble because David Noble's just managed to pass Reese. So Reese gained, but has also lost, if you know what I mean. And Chris Bourne is now there as well. Chris Bourne round that corner. Wow, what did he do? Use his handbrake or something? Went round the corner like he was in a scale electric set. That was unbelievable.
Well.
Hi, Robert. Welcome to the stream. Fashionably late. Best people always turn up late,
Hello,
Robert.
Robert.
You should know that, my friend. A bride's never first at the wedding, is she? Oh, Reese is going deep again. Reese is going for it here. I've got
and Chris is right there as well.
He is, yeah. I mean, if we just jump to the back of Reese's car, you've got the Lexus just sat there waiting. He's not going to make it there, is he? Right, Saunders is now pitting.
Yes.
So after the pit stops, Peter's a second further ahead.
Yeah, and Carlo actually, I thought who I thought was going to be able to get closer to Andrea, got further away.
Yeah. So Mikhail's now in the pits. So Mikhail's managed to get his pit stop in. I'm showing Michaela's the only person not to pit, so he's now in the pits. Is everything shown as a clean pit stop for everyone, Jeremy?
Things seems to be fine right now.
So they're all green?
Yes, they are.
Brilliant. I can switch the pit stop off then. We don't need to worry about that. What we'll do is we'll put the nation. You can just see, wow, Group 1 is dedicated by the guys from the UK, isn't it? But they're not dominating. Oh, Reese is really trying here. Chris has got him up the inside, has he? Chris seeing the gap. Oh, Reese has got the race. He's got the pace just down onto the inside corner here. Chris is going to try the outside. Is he going for the... Oh, he's hit the curb there, but that's a Bentley, so it's going to go what curb? He's gone really defensive, Reese, there. You can see the way he deliberately put the car to the left, just to stop Chris getting the run on the outside edge.
Yeah, Chris managed to really come back into this race somehow.
He did, as a result of his nudge with Nelson.
Absolutely.
So now, even if Nelson gets a bump and pass penalty, Nelson is now Chris is just behind Nelson. If there's a penalty causing a collision penalty, Chris has now passed Nelson.
Exactly.
Chris is looking really racy here.
And it's going in.
Yeah, he's got the inside. Last of the late breakers. Perma going for it. Oh, wow.
Very nice.
Brilliant passing. He's not giving it up though, Reese. He's got the inside on the next corner. He's got the run here, hasn't he, through Luffield? He's got the run. This is a drag up the straight now.
Let's see how nice. It's beautiful to see two drivers giving each other space.
Yeah, I think Reese is going to get this corner. But he knows he can't drift too wide, so he's going to have lost some speed there to give some of that back. But no, what brilliant driving. Look at these two guys going for it. Ooh, Chris had to ease off there. Brilliant. Brilliant racing, this. Absolutely brilliant racing. Craig Holmes is starting his battle from the back. He's putting pressure. In fact, he's just done it. He's just managed to pass Stevens.
And Lars is also in there as well.
Yeah, Lars has joined the party now, hasn't he? This makes me think Chris is being held up a little bit.
Yeah, probably right.
I don't think this battle's over. So we've got 1 minute left of the pit window. It doesn't really matter. All pit stops have been fulfilled.
That's right.
With correct criteria. So well done for everyone for fulfilling that, first of all. Don't forget, if you haven't already, click like. And if you haven't already, click subscribe. And make yourself aware for any up-and-coming events with notifications. Just want to thank PWS again. Precious Washers.co.uk for sponsoring ACC TV. And allowing us to carry on providing this service to everybody in the world who's watching this, and certainly for the other group racers who don't race on a Sunday. So yeah, just big shout out to Darren and the guys there at PWS for joining since they've joined in the last season. Great bunch of guys. Hi Peter, welcome to the stream.
Hello Peter.
Been some great battles. 21 minutes left to go. Now, interestingly, at the front, the gap between Peter and Andrea hasn't increased. It's been at 6.9 for a couple of laps. Yes. The gap between Andrea and Carlo is increasing, though. So
yeah, I just wanted to mention a great race from David Noble. He's right now he's P6, and I believe he started the race in 15th or 17th position.
Yeah, I think he was 15th, David Noble. In fact, what I will put on is I'll put the position delta. Yeah, he's 7 places up.
That's amazing. Really well done, David.
And to be honest, Merch isn't doing too bad either. In fact, Derek's off. Derek's over-rotated his car.
Ooh, okay.
Now he's done
That's
that.
Unfortunate.
He's done that before Beckett's. I've not seen anyone spin out there before. So he's now got it all to do now as Derek. So I'm going to go back to the battle we were on, which is Chris, Reese and Lars. This looks like it's eased off a little bit. Reese seems to have got the better of Chris now. Now, whether Chris is just getting his tyres back down to temperature or not, I don't know. But while he's doing that, Lars is putting pressure on him, and I can see another battle coming up here. Some great racing with the Group 1 racers.
Absolutely. So now it looks like Lars is putting pressure on Chris. He's getting closer.
He is indeed. I'm seeing Lars as being 4 tenths behind Chris at this point in time. So someone mentioned in Discord yesterday, I think it was Luke actually. It was quite an interesting sentiment about what we could do in relation to the incidents and have an incident counter. Great idea, but I think it prescribes to the wrong idea of us creating incidents. So I won't be doing it, but just for reference, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 incidents have been recorded in the Group 1 race so far. Now that's the ones that ACC is letting us know about. There could be more than that. So, you know, Group 1 guys, there's still been a few incidents here. Andy Goddard said that he went off here at the inside curb. So yeah, I had an interesting one. Which corner was it? I was coming down, and I actually never hit a curb. It was... I'm just trying to think. It wasn't Club. Abbey. So I come down the Hamilton Straight, and I took Abbey the normal way. And I didn't go onto the curb, and yet my left rear wheel hit what I could only describe as... must have been something like a pothole on the track, and the whole left of my car dropped, and I started losing control. I managed to keep it on track, but I'd never experienced it before. And I'd done obviously 10 laps before that without it happening. So I don't know if there was just a glitch and it thought it had gone wide, but I hadn't even hit the curbs. Well, them cones have gone west, haven't they? He sent them cones to somewhere else on the track. So 17 minutes to go. Obviously still got to consider driver of the day. I think Peter was the last vote because he just dominated. He's still 6.8 seconds clear.
Yeah, he's always a guy to look up to. I mean...
There we go. Lars has got a good run on Chris here.
Yeah, Lars, yes.
I don't think he's going to make a pass, but he's really putting pressure on Chris now. He's going to look for an inside corner, isn't he? Reese has now caught up David. Wow. So we've got 2 battles. We've got a battle with Reese and David. Yeah, Melvin's saying David Noble. I was half thinking that myself for his battle, where he's coming through the track. Let's see where he goes. Let's do a lap comparison of these 2 guys anyway. I'll put the splits on the screen for you, just so you can see the splits. So Reese's last lap was a 1:59.1. David Noble's was a 2:01. So that makes me think David Noble's made a mistake. So let's follow them around for another lap just to see what the difference is. Although Reese has made a lot of time in that one corner alone. 0.3 of a second in one corner.
Sure.
I'm wondering whether David Noble's tyres aren't any good after the pit stop. You know, the PSIs are down a little bit. He seems to be having to take it easier in the corners. Because Reese's car's whizzing around the corners. Yeah, I know there's still a lot of time, but it's one of them just getting the thought process in people's minds. I'll wait for a full lap.
Yeah, very interesting to see that Peter is not getting away anymore.
Yeah,
but at least for now.
But then again, as Peter found the pace where he doesn't need to worry.
That's it.
You know, he's got a comfortable pace. He's not putting pressure on himself. I mean, his last lap was a 1:58.2. Andreas was a 1:58.3. There's nothing splitting them. You know, and when we know Peter can do half a second faster than that. I think Peter's took his foot off the gas a little bit. He's going for safety rather than putting, you know, space. So David Noble's pulled away here. So let's just get over the finish line, and you'll be able to see the split quite clearly between the 2 of them. But David Noble's had a better part of the lap. Let's see where this takes us. So we've got David Noble doing a 1:59.2 and Reese doing a 1:59.5. So you can see quite clearly there the There's a big difference between the two of them. I don't know where the battles are now because there's not much going. Mikhail's putting pressure on Chris. Mikhail's putting pressure on Chris, actually, to be fair.
Yes, that's it.
Let's, in fact, Mikhail's had a cracking run out of there. I think Mikhail's going to get him here. His pace difference there. I mean, they're both in the Aston as well, so they're very, very similar. Now, Chris has gone wide. Chris has gone to the outside. Not defending. Oh, his back end. Looked like it was twitching then. Yeah, Terry, to be fair, I think you could see that with your race yesterday. You got into that comfort zone where you weren't pushing too much to keep the stability of the car on track. And I think that's why you did what you did, to be fair, because you got to the point where you weren't over pushing. You were taking all the corners easily, taking all the apexes as you wanted. You weren't going deep into the corners. You weren't going onto the grass. You'd found that happy medium, knowing full well the driver behind you couldn't catch you. And we say that, and now Peter's 7.3 seconds. But the last lap between Peter and Andrea, they both did a 1:58.302. Identically. Just for reference. Well, I don't think this battle's over here. That's not a passing place. In fact, Chris has gone defensive there. That could put Chris at a risk coming into the next corner. Now he's managed to make it, hasn't he? Going through Luffield. Get the power down early. Chris has got the power down equally as good as well. We'll cut the corner the same way. And Mikhail's going for the late break here. It's not really a corner to risk the late break unless you've got confidence in the driver you're racing against. So matched. Fantastic. This is the section where Mikhail seems to be much quicker. Mikhail just seems to gain a load of time coming out onto straight. No, not that time. That's pretty much balanced. Stevens has gone off. He's gone very wide. And he's gone off in the same place Derek Bird went off. And ironically, Derek Bird's the one who's made the place up. So they've just switched places there. I do think Mikhail's looking the quicker driver here. Now Dimitri's gone off. Dimitri's gone off into Beckett's. He's coming through Chapel Curve now. So Dimitri's spun it coming in. So I think he's over-rotated the car at that point. Back to Mikhail. I think this battle's not done. I will do another. Hugh's retired to the pits actually. When we saw him going to the pits before, he's decided to give up. Hugh's not continued to race. I think he's just had enough of the car. I think it must have been a handful. Craig's really putting that car around the corners, to be fair. Looks like he's drifting it. He's not. But it's just the impression it gives. But he's got great drive on it.
Yeah, the only close battle right now is between Mikhail and Chris Baker.
Yeah, there seems to be gap. I mean, I'm gonna go. I'll go down again. I'll do another grid. I will keep an eye on that gap, but I'll do another grid tour. So we've got Peter now 7.6 seconds clear of Andrea Caiola. Andrea is 5.3 seconds ahead of Carlo. Carlo is 5.6 seconds ahead of John. John is 8.6 seconds ahead of Nelson. Nelson is 12.4 seconds ahead of David Noble. I think it's fair to say the top three, the podium, unless there's a disaster, I think is set in stone. I'm not going to say commentator's curse.
I would say the same thing. I don't think anything is going to change there.
David Noble is 1.8 seconds ahead of Reese. We saw Reese catching him before. Reese Wiggins is 1.5 seconds ahead of Chris Bourne. And you see Chris Bourne is 1 second ahead of Lars. So Lars hasn't managed to pass Chris, but the battle's still going on. Lars is 8.1 seconds ahead of Chris Baker. Chris Baker is just in front of Mikhail. Mikhail's trying a different angle there. But while this battle's been going on,
yes,
Mikhail has been caught by Mark Rogers, and Mark Rogers is about a second behind in the PWS Aston Martin. And Mikhail is making a good run here. Is he going for it? He's got the inside. No, he's not holding on to the inside. Oh, he has. He's got... Oh,
he is.
I thought he was going to spin it then. And you can see
He's
now
in.
Mark Rogers is catching Chris. So Mikhail's off. Catch me if you can. So,
Yeah.
Mark Rogers is less than a second behind Chris Baker. So I predict this is the next battle. These two is going to be the next battle. Merch is 3.3 seconds behind Mark Rogers. Craig is 1.8 seconds behind Merch. You can see Merch in front of him. Derek Bird is 17 seconds behind Craig. Mark Stevens is 7.9 seconds behind Derek. Tony Whitten is 4.3 seconds behind Mark Stevens. Dimitri Stathis is 19.8 seconds behind Tony. And rear up the rear, Laszlo Nemeth is 1.3 seconds behind Dimitri. So that's a front to back. Peter Wolfslaner is now nearly 8 seconds clear. Dimitri's off. I didn't quite see what happened there. But he lost place, he lost time, and I don't know if he's hit a barrier. Because Laszlo seemed to pass him quite easily from over a second behind.
So once again, I mean, Peter is definitely back in business, like we said. He dominated the first half of the championship, then had a little fallout there, a couple of 2-3 races, but managed to come back on top and dominate again.
And just to make matters worse for us, Peter's now learned what Motec's all about. So not only was he fast without Motec, but now he's got Motec, he's even quicker. So Merch has caught up Craig here. And that was a gap of about 6 seconds, if I recall. Oh, no, it was a gap of 2 seconds. The Merch is really putting pressure on Craig. This makes me think, 6 minutes to go. When Craig went off, did he overcook his tyres in the second stint? And he's done.
Probably.
And that means now Merch, if he's kept hold of his tyres and hasn't gone off track, could be there for the taking. I mean, the other battles on track at the moment is Mark Rogers. He's battling the Aston.
You have also Lars putting Chris under pressure here.
Yeah, Lars is 0.8 seconds behind. This is the closest battle. I mean, I've just jumped forward to Lars. You'll see that they're just a little bit further apart. Mark Rogers is putting pressure. And I think a mistake from Baker or Rogers separates these racers one way or the other. Now, let's have a look what else is going on. Yeah, Peter's now nearly 8.5 seconds clear. Yeah, the last lap, Peter's nearly half a second. But Peter on average now is nearly half a second quicker per lap. And that's under tyre preserving mode because he's over a second and a half quicker than his qualifying time. And a full second down from his fastest lap. And I mean a full second down. So Craig's back in this now. Dimitri's off again. So Dimitri was off track again. He's having a bit of a nightmare. So Craig was under pressure from Merch. He's now pulled away from Merch. And is now putting pressure on Mark Rogers. You can see Mark Rogers in front. So Craig's got this option now. He can see both drivers in front of him. And he's thinking, aye, it's 2 places for the taking here. That takes me from 13th to 11th. everyone's driving the same though. You can just see the way they're taking the corners. They all ride the curb in the same way. They all brake in the same place. No wonder no one can pass.
Well, I guess that's what makes this Group 1 faster, is that they're more consistent, and they know their track, and they know their car, and they know how to maximize lap after lap after lap.
Yeah, I mean, you are looking for micro mistakes, aren't you, to gain? You know, if you go off track, fair enough, but you're looking for the micro mistakes where you brake a little bit later into a corner. You know, that's really what you're looking for in these. I mean, Mark Rogers and Craig Holmes are really close now. And Mark Rogers and Chris Baker in front are also close. What we don't want to see, though, is a bit of an incident where all of a sudden all three of them end up getting taken out.
That's right.
Merch has lost a lot of track time now behind. Craig has got a cracking run here on Rogers. Cracking run. He's showing his nose there. That Aston looked very loose, the PWS Aston then. Looked like it lost a bit of traction compared to the... Oh!
Oh, there was
Craig
contact.
Craig went up the inside there. I'm not too sure. That was a move he could have made, actually. He come from behind the car. He's getting flashed as well by Mark Rogers. But Mark Rogers is flashing. He's not happy with that, Mark Rogers. And I think Craig's best point here is to let Mark back. Otherwise, Craig's going to lose 2 places. And it'll put him behind Merch. So Craig's got a decision to make. Do the right thing and keep the position and race him for it. Or he's going to... If Mark Rogers... And I know Mark Rogers will put the penalty in. He will lose a further 2 places. Simple as that, isn't it?
He made his decision, but it's pretty clear.
Yeah. But he's going to have to take Chris Baker. In fact, even if he takes Chris Baker, he's still going to end up behind. He's making his case worse here. I think Mark Rogers will put the penalty in as well. And to be fair, he probably should have done. Yeah, Andy's saying it looked like Mark slowed right down. The thing is, Andy, with that one, Craig looked like he was behind, but put the front end of his Bentley into the rear wing. Now, it's one of them. We need to look at the car and look at the inputs to see what was going on there. And I don't think Mark slowed down too much for the corner. I just think that Craig was trying to take the corner quicker, was a bit more aggressive. Because we've seen Craig getting later and later on the braking as we've been following him around. You can see there he's a lot later on the braking. But it's potentially going to backfire. So we've got the final lap. Are we having a drive of the day? Anyone bothering?
It's a tough call. I'm gonna mention my 2 favorite today. Definitely Peter, and the second one, David. I think David did a remarkable race.
Okay. Any takers for anybody else? I think that Noble. So Holmes has now passed Chris Baker. No, you're right, Melvin. You know, it's not always about the leaders, and Peter's walked it. You know, we got to reward good driving and the fact that he started low down. So we've got Paul Moore saying Peter, we've got Stefan saying Peter, we've got Terry T saying Peter.
Yeah,
we've got 3 for Peter, we've got 2 for Noble, and Frank says Peter. That to me is unanimous. You know, we've got to go with the choice of the stream, guys. Sorry to say that. But from that perspective, that tells me it's going to be Peter's driver of the day. So let me just get this set up. Andres is voting Noble. So that's 4v3. I'll jump on board with Peter, actually. I'm just setting this up so I can put Peter down as driver of the day. Make sure I've got it set up right. Yeah, I can't do
There he goes.
I can't do honourable mentions, but yeah, driver of the day is Peter. Again, faultless drive. I think it's fair to say honourable mention there to David Noble if he ever watches the stream back. From David's perspective, he'd come from back from quite low down the grid, and he gave some fantastic position and places and some well-earned points there. So well done, David. It was just that. Again, Peter's just done a faultless drive. You know, we did offer a vote in, and I think everyone went towards the Peter camp there. But anyway, thanks everyone. We're just coming through to the end of the race. David Noble's coming over now. He's being followed closely by Reese Wiggin, and Chris Bourne and Lars. They're all coming over together, and then we've got Mikhail coming over. I'm sure Mikhail will enjoy that. We've got Craig, who I do believe has got a penalty incoming. In reality, he's probably going to be 13th. We've got Mark Rogers. And then Mark Rogers managed to crash Chris Baker and Merch behind that. And then further down, we've got Derek Bird, who's probably going to put this down as a race to forget. Yeah, there's Derek and Tony Whitten. And I've got a couple of other drivers. Dimitri's already classed as finished. I think he went off track. Tony's Ferrari's looking worse for wear. Looks like it's been in a field. He's finished, which is Kurdu's. Mark Stevens. I think he's run out of fuel. he's give up. I just want to thank everybody for watching.
Thank you, everyone.
And you know, just another mention to our stream sponsor, PWS Precious Washers, for supporting us and allowing us to do what we do on a weekly basis. Again, there should be some streams this week. I'll put them all up on the YouTube channel. You'll see them all scheduled up, and on a daily basis, I'll put the links in Discord. So I just want to thank everybody. I want to say good evening to everybody, including yourself, Jeremy. Good evening. Thank you.
Gentlemen, see you next week.
Bye all.
Bye.